live stream, we're talking about negative self-talk and self-sabotage. Let me ask you, have you ever spoken to someone or spoken to yourself in a way you wouldn't talk to a friend or your child? That's negative self-talk. And negative self-talk often comes from childhood. When you're a child, you're growing up, you're looking to the adults around you to help you understand the world, understand yourself, and you're going to take anything they tell you as the truth, because when you're a child you need to learn quickly. In prehistoric times, you needed to listen to your elders so that you wouldn't eat some deadly berries or play with a dangerous snake or something. So you're kind of programmed to listen to what those people tell you. You're also reliant on them to look after you. A child doesn't want to see their parents as bad, so they internalize dysfunction. They think it means there's something wrong with them, that they're bad. You can also develop negative self-talk if you spend a long time in an abusive relationship as an adult. As a child, you're most susceptible to it for the reasons I've already said, and also because your neuroplasticity is at its highest. Your neuroplasticity is very high until about the age of 21. After that, it starts to drop off. So negative self-talk often comes from childhood or abusive relationships as an adult, as I say. And this can result in self-sabotaging behaviours as you grow up. It can result in calling yourself names, telling yourself you're an idiot or stupid. Whatever you may have been told as a child, you're going to repeat that to yourself. And when you do this, you're basically hypnotizing yourself to continue believing those things, acting in that way. And there's a misconception about hypnosis. Hypnosis isn't some kind of magical trick. It's not, as I say to clients, it's not something I do to you, it's something I do with you. But your language can be hypnotic. For example, if I tell you not to think of a pink aeroplane, what's the first image that comes into your mind? I bet it's a pink aeroplane. And again, this is why I often tell clients not to resist anxiety or resist negative thoughts, just to allow them to be, because what resists not only persists but becomes stronger. If you tell yourself, I don't want to feel anxious, you're going to get more anxiety. Your mind can't do negatives. So you can't say, I don't want to feel that, because you're still stating what you want to feel. Your mind will focus on what you want to feel or what you don't want to feel. Again, if I ask you to describe your front door for me, you've got to bring an image of your front door into your mind so that you can tell me what it looks like. And thoughts and feelings work the same way. If you say, I don't want to think this way, or I don't want to feel this way, you've got to bring what it is you're trying to avoid into your mind so you can know what it is that you're avoiding. So never say, I don't want to feel this. Never say, I'll try. Try implies failure. Someone asked you to help them move house on Sunday and you didn't want to do it, you'll probably say, I'll try, knowing full well that you have no intention of doing it. You're either programming empowerment or limitation. And if you developed a lot of negative self-talk as a child, you can get my Inner Child Healing Workbook free from my website. Just visit marksdoubles.com, put in your email address, and you'll be able to download the Inner Child Healing Workbook completely free of charge. Inner child work can be very empowering. It's not about recovering repressed memories or reliving the past. It's just about becoming a good enough parent, yourself, giving yourself unconditional love, unconditional acceptance, becoming kinder to yourself. So visit my website, marksdoubles.com, download that workbook there. And checking my notes. So yeah, as I was saying, hypnosis isn't magic. It's simply communication that bypasses your conscious mind or your critical faculty. So if you tell yourself, for example, I'm terrible at public speaking, your unconscious mind is literally going to go to work on that command, and you're going to find yourself being terrible at public speaking. If you, as I said, tell yourself you don't want to feel something, you're programming your unconscious mind to find and bring up the thing you don't want to feel. Saying things like don't worry, don't forget. Again, going back to childhood, my mother always used to say to me, oh, be careful, don't hurt yourself. And that often led to me hurting myself. Something else that she would do would be to say, you know, oh, you'll hurt yourself if you climb that tree. And then, you know, I'd climb the tree, hurt myself, and she'd say, see, I told you. Like she was, you know, right, well, she was right, because I did hurt myself. But she'd programmed it into me to experience that scenario. So never say don't. Your unconscious mind doesn't do don't. It's going to give you what you say don't do. Never use I am statements. Never say I'm an idiot, or I'm a procrastinator, or I'm stupid, anything like that, because you'll get more of what you're telling yourself you are. How can you rewire the system? How can you change negative self-talk? First thing, as I said, don't resist, because what resists persists. Something else you can do is to reframe. So if you're feeling anxious, you could reframe that as excitement about uncertainty. Instead of saying, I'm terrible at this, you could say, I'm still learning this skill. If you don't achieve something, instead of calling that failure, you can call that feedback. And you know, when you have little hiccups, you can take that as a consultation on what not to do. So use language that presupposes the outcome you want is already possible, already the situation. So instead of saying, oh, if I can stick to my diet, or if I can stick to my plan, whatever that plan is. You would say, when I stick to my diet, or when I stick to my plan, when I achieve my goals. So you're presupposing the outcome you want. Again, going back to public speaking, instead of saying, I hope I do well, I hope they like me, you might say, when I deliver this speech perfectly, or when the audience is engaged in what I'm saying. Now that I'm prepared, what's the best way to deliver this? Embed commands to yourself. So instead of telling yourself to try to relax, again, never use the word try, because that implies failure. You might say, when I notice my hands resting on my knees, I will feel a state of relaxation. I will feel a state of calm. There you can see I have embedded will and relaxation, will and calm. I've embedded those words. That's called an embedded command. I've emphasized them by making them more clear, more. I changed my tone slightly. So that is something else you can do to embed commands for yourself, to become your own hypnotherapist. If you want to learn more about this, I have a couple of courses. One is called Hypnotic Conversations, the Art of Everyday Influence. That's all about how you can use hypnotic language to influence others. You may be interested in that if you're sales or a coach, a parent, whatever it is. And then there's hypnotic scripts. Again, sales, if you're a coach, a parent, they're both very good courses if you want to learn hypnotic language, change how you communicate with yourself and others, start to get more positive outcomes through your communication, not only with others but with yourself. If you want to find out about one-to-one therapy, you can book a call via my website, markstubbles.com, where you can also get the Inner Child Healing Workbook. Again, check the description for all of those links. So yeah, it's about becoming conscious and intentional with your words. And when we change one part of the system, we change all parts of the system. So by becoming conscious and intentional of your words around, say, anxiety, you're going to notice yourself becoming more conscious and intentional around words to do with other things as well. Maybe you'll notice that you develop a better relationship with money, better relationships with friends and family, more confidence. It will have all kinds of positive impacts on your life. So here is a challenge for you. Over the next 24 hours, next time you find yourself with an I am statement, could be I am rubbish at this, or I am not doing this right. Change it with a more positive statement like I am learning this skill, or I am developing my ability in this area. Comment below, tell me what one thing will you be looking out for? What one thing that you tell yourself will you be reframing? Let me know in the comments below. So again, if you want to learn hypnotic conversations, the art of everyday influence, check the description. Also, the course Hypnotic Scripts. Both those courses are going to change how you speak to yourself, how you speak to others. You're going to find lots of benefit from them if you're a parent, or if you're in sales, a coach, anything that involves communication. You're going to find massive benefit from those courses. If you want to find out about one-to-one therapy, book a call with me below. Get the free workbooks via my website markstubbles.com. Thank you for watching and good night.